Greetings, happy people, and thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Kitara Gray Show. I hope through this dialogue you are inspired to take calculated risk, evaluate your limiting beliefs, and live a God-filled purpose life. So let's get into this. We have Alexis Smith, and she's going to tell us a lot more about how to be a financial boss. All right, let's get into it. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and who and what has shaped you into the amazing woman that you are?
So, hey everyone. Thank you, Katara, for having me on your show today.
Of course.
I am a mother of two beautiful daughters, ages 8 and 11. I am a financial consultant.
Yes.
And I would say what shaped me into wanting to get into this industry is one, a lot of our people, when I say our people, meaning like our Black and brown community, are not informed of how to invest their money long term or how to save their money. So when we were young, we were always told, don't get credit cards. Credit cards going to put you in bad debt. But then as you get older and become into the adult world, it's like, well, you're getting denied because you don't have enough credit or you weren't taught to build credit. So I just wanted to get in this industry. So one, we can educate people on the importance of building credit, making sure that we're protecting and investing our money, not only for ourselves or for our current situations, but for our kids. So just thinking long-term instead of short-term.
That was a phenomenal reason to get involved. I'm excited about this interview. So can you share with us a little bit? You already mentioned why you became a financial consultant, but is there a personal reason that you saw like people around you, or is something that you went through that maybe made you say, hey, this is the moment where I've decided I have to become a leader in this industry?
I would definitely say growing up, I saw my mom work her butt off, working like a dog, like how most of our moms are always trying to do what's necessary to make sure that the kids are taken care of, making sure that there's food on the table, keeping the roof over our head. And then I was like, she's working all of these jobs, but had she been taught at a younger age on how to prepare herself, how to put money to the side instead of just living from paycheck to paycheck, which is what a lot of people in this generation do. Like we're always paycheck to paycheck. So one, I found myself continuing that trend. And I really want to say it's kind of like a hereditary thing, even though people may not pay attention or realize it. But once you start working and you get all of these adult bills,
Come on.
you get all these adult bills and then you see the income. You see the income that you're making, but then it's like you pay everything, and then it's like, well, I want to go and get my nails done, I want to get my hair done, but then you're trying to scrap up change. Or like, well, I can't do it this time. Or if your kid's like, Mommy, can you take us out here or there? Well, Mommy paid the bill, so Mommy don't have the funds right now, or you have to wait till next time. So one, it puts yourself in a situation where it's like you don't want to continue to be struggling. It's just like, I'm out here busting my butt off, working really hard, and what do I have to show for it?
Y'all, she asked some questions. Alexis coming in hot. Y'all better listen. She said, you working your butt off and what do you have to show for it? And I really challenge everybody listening, like ask yourself that question. We are in our early 30s and we finally like woke up. You can do this in your early teens. Had we known this 10 years ago, we would be in a much better financial situation. Hey, while you're working at these, maybe low-end jobs. We worked at Chick-fil-A, those jobs, Macy's, and those jobs where, you're just starting off. What are you doing with your check? Enjoy your money, but save your money too. So I want you to tell us about a common problem that you believe most people have with making good financial decisions. I know you mentioned a lot of it is generational. We just see it and we just do what we see. But what would you say is in the adult arena is a common problem that they have? Is it the literacy aspect? Is it a combination of, I'm about to get on y'all's neck, wanting to outdo other people, so we spend money we don't have? What exactly do you think are some of the top common things that you kind of notice that are kind of delaying our success in the area of finances?
I would definitely say the main phrase, keeping up with the Jones.
Oh.
So we have... I'm going to use my iPhone, the 13 Pro Max. Okay, so we have a lot of people, Apple has a new iPhone that's coming out. Oh, I want to get that new iPhone 13 too. I want the new phone. But then when you're looking at your bank account, I know I can't afford it, but because my friend have it, my cousin have it, or I'm used to everyone thing that I have everything, or I have all the nice things, so I'm going to keep this trend up. But behind closed doors, I'm struggling, I'm broke. So one of the things that I would say is a very big challenge. Are people are not living to their means. Like they're always trying to compete with the next person who really can't afford it while you're over here struggling. I would say one thing that I always hear people say is, if I made more money, I could live better, or I can buy this. But in actuality, let's think about somebody who's making $15, or let's just think about when you were making $15 an hour or $13 an hour, and you were paying all your bills. You had money to go and do something that you may have wanted to do. So I wouldn't necessarily say that making more money is going to take your problems away, because I would say more money brings more problems. More money brings more confusion. More money brings more drama. More money brings more conflict. So I would say it's all about how you're managing your money. So if you making $10, $13, $15 an hour, you can maneuver and budget that money the same way a person who's making $25, $30 an hour. So it's all about how you manage your money, not how much money you make.
Y'all, she didn't came in. She a financial preacher. That's her name. But what she said is something that I have noticed. The more money you make, the more your desires. And so at first you were okay with a car that wasn't luxury, but as you make more money, it's okay to want the luxury. But if you don't know how to manage your money when you're driving the Toyota Camry, you don't need the Mercedes Benz, because all you're going to do is be more in debt. It actually isn't going to make sense at all because you're making more money. But money is a mindset. Money is a mindset. So what are some of the benefits of the programs that you offer, and kind of let us know what you do and how people can kind of find you?
All right. So the name of my business is Deluxe Financials. And what Deluxe Financials consists of, it consists of credit repairing, as well as helping families invest long-term funds instead of just short-term funds. And is mainly dealing with like life insurance. So I'll say how people are always looking for handouts, even though they may not purposely or intentionally do it. So let's just say if someone came up to you, if you saw someone, we can't predict what's going to happen to someone. We don't know what's going to happen the next second, the next minute, or the next hour. So I feel like if someone is coming to you, let's say, Kitara, would you be interested in protecting or securing your family? Or if I said, Kitara, if something was to happen to you where you weren't able to provide for your family, or if you couldn't walk or feed yourself or bathe yourself, would your family be okay if you were down for some few months? Like, would they be financially stable or taking care of anything was to happen to you at this drop of a moment? And a lot of people are not prepared for that. A lot of people it's like you're in denial. So it's like you're thinking, well, I know I'm going to pass one day, or I know this can happen to me in the next hour, but then it's like, I'll deal with that when that time comes. But then, oh my God, I just lost a sister. And you see everyone immediately creating GoFundMe. So it's like you're not being proactive on life-changing situations that can change in any drop of a moment. So my job is to help our Black and brown community. I'm educating them on the importance of making sure that your family is protected while you're living. So a lot of people think that when you're getting life insurance, that it's only when you're dead. But what the products that I offer is life insurance with living benefits. Now, had a lot of our people knew about living benefits, I'm pretty sure a lot of our kids would be financially stable right now. So if you pay attention back in school, like a lot of the Jewish community, a lot of the Jewish kids, their family were putting them on policies when they were babies. We call it $1 million babies. So by the time their child is 16 or 18, they're half a millionaire or probably millionaires because their parents were taught to invest in their long-term future, not just for the short term. So I feel like our community lacks on being open to learn more about the possibility, learn more about investing long term. We're always thinking short term, so we're not mentally or physically preparing ourselves for the long-term situation that can affect our family, because we're just thinking like, well, when that time comes, we're only thinking for that now instead of for the future.
That is such a valid point. I worked at the cemetery, as I've mentioned, and one thing that we would hear from veterans to homeless people did not have a burial policy, no life insurance. And these were not people that were below the poverty line. These are some very significantly successful people. But some people just have decided, I'm not going to get one. I don't want to leave my kids anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just don't understand the benefits of investing in it. What's $50 a month? What's $100 a month? If something happens to you, you really need to consider, can your family sustain if something were to happen to you? So I think that that's awesome that you're doing it. Why do you think that we're seeing an increase in women becoming leaders in this industry?
Well, I personally feel like women are tired of seeing other women struggle. Like, even though we have women that's always, they may be trying to beat each other down, we still have a large proportion of women who see the bigger picture, who wants to grow. Because at the end of the day, we have little girls who are looking up to us. We don't want society taking over our kids. So if we have the opportunity to be like, okay, well, a lawyer, a Black woman can be a lawyer, a Black woman can be a judge, a Black woman can be an officer, a Black woman can be a professor, a Black woman can be whatever the next woman wants to be or desires to be. Like, so what we're doing right now is embracing not only our skin, but we're embracing that we are much more than what society portrays us to be. So if we see ourselves being the next president or the next Michelle Obama, we're doing that. We're going to set the trends for our little girls and for our little girls' generation. So I feel like a lot of women are stepping up to be bosses. Like, we're boss women, we're boss ladies. And you always see men who are in charge, or men always trying to dominate. But if it weren't for a woman, half of these men wouldn't be where they are today.
That is true. Not half, none, because we the ones that birthed them. So I love it. I love it. That was such a good response. Like, women can literally do anything. And so I love to hear that women are taking control of their life. Some women are not married. Some women will never be married. Even those that are, sometimes our husbands have a lot of responsibilities. So it's okay for us to say, hey, I want to make sure in the event something happens to you or me, we're taken care of. Because that's what we're thinking about. If something happens, are we all taken care of? And so, hey, we're just here to support. So I want to know this. What are the 3 things that you would tell someone right now struggling in their finances?
Number 1 would definitely be have a goal.
Oh.
If you don't have a goal signifies structure. Without structure, you can't set your foundation up. So having a goal is the number 1 key. 2, number 2, I would say be willing to save. Like, know how to manage your money. Determine what you need versus what you want. A lot of us get what we want and put ourselves in situations because we didn't get the necessary stuff that we needed. Yeah, so we want to put ourselves in a financial situation. And 3, think long term. Think long term, because if you're, like I said, if you're thinking only for that moment, like, just say how we were in a pandemic. Yes, yeah. A lot of people were not prepared for this pandemic. We saw all of the grocery stores selling out of everything. The shelves were extremely empty. Now, had we been proactive before the pandemic hit, like stocking our freezer, stocking our deep freezer, stocking our cabinets, stocking our pantries, we would have been prepared for this pandemic moment. So I would definitely say structure, goals, knowing your need versus your want, and being proactive.
Those 3 right there, I actually need to evaluate my finances just based on what you just shared. That is awesome. And I think, just to add to that, you're never too old to not evaluate your finances and just to look and see what areas do I need and what do I want? I think that oftentimes we look at finances and we look at, especially in the age of social media, we want what we want. I know people literally that probably have $10 in their bank account, but you would never look at them and tell. We cannot look rich and not be rich. Okay. And being rich is not about what's in your account. It's about what's in here. And usually, if you carry yourself with great character, you're going to have a big bank account, because, listen, if you're walking in purpose, which this show is all about, money will find you. Money will find you. So I really encourage you all to really challenge yourself to evaluate your finances. Okay. So what is the biggest risk you've taken in life, and was it worth it?
I would say the biggest risk that I've taken in life would be becoming a financial consultant. And I would definitely say, yes, it's worth it, because it's teaching me not only how to manage my money, It teaches me how to appreciate the things that I do have. It teaches me how to appreciate the income that I currently have. Like some people are not just really fortunate, but it helps me to teach discipline. I'm gonna say discipline. It gives me discipline, which is what a lot of us do not have. And just being educated and being open-minded to learn about the finance industry and the struggles that we face in is bigger than what we really think it is. And if a lot of our community were to come together and be open to listen to how we can get ourselves out of these financial debt situations, I think a lot of us would be in a wealthier situation than what we are. Like when we get refunds, we get our tax refunds instead of us going to invest in a property or invest in something other than going, oh, I'm going shopping, I'm going on a vacation. You could have used that money to make an investment where it's not only going to benefit just you, it's going to benefit your family long term. It's going to it's going to create generational wealth. So I would definitely say becoming a financial consultant has been a big change in my life, and I would not change it for nothing in the world.
She said nothing. You mentioned something so important about the pandemic. I think that people are really evaluating their life as a whole. Why do you think now is the time to prioritize your finances? Not just because something bad may happen, but something good may happen, and you just aren't ready for it. So why do you think now is the time to prioritize your finances?
With one, I feel like there's no excuse for people to prioritize their finances. You can't say, oh, they're on any jobs, because everyone is hiring.
That's good.
Everyone is hiring right now. Everyone is the pay rates are outrageous. Like they're awesome. Like they're really good, but a lot of people are making excuses. A lot of people are relying on government funds. Like let's just say today, if the government was to decide to take away food stamps or take away the money that they give to single mothers, how could we survive? How could you survive if you're relying on government? So I feel like now is the time for you to mentally get yourself together. Like stop making excuses, because there's no excuse for you to not be bringing in income. You can't always, like I say, rely on government fund issues. Just prepping yourself, preparing your family is something that we need to do.
It's critical. As she said, her words today is discipline. Because boy, having good finances requires this. It is painful. It is painful when you know you could spend the money somewhere and you have to say, no, this money is allocated to this. But it feels so good when that money is building and you have something come up and it's accessible. So this next segment is where our viewers really get to know a lot about you. She does not know these questions. So this is a series of questions and she only gets to answer with one answer. You can explain if I give you the yes. But this part is really fun, so people can know you outside of being a financial expert, but they can just get to know you and decide if they want to connect with you. So what is, or who do you think is the greatest financial expert of all time? Like, who would you say, if they're not following this person, they need to follow this person?
Patrick Bet-David. You can follow him on YouTube. He's not from the USA. He is from Pakistan. I would say when it comes to the finance industry, Patrick Bet-David. Please follow him on YouTube. Please follow him on YouTube. You will learn a lot.
I need to check him out. I like Dr. Lynn Richardson. She's amazing. So I think that there are Black, brown, there are some Caucasian people. Listen, money is one color. What color is that? Green.
Correct.
So you better find some good people that are at where you aspire to be. If you can't find it around you, you need to be looking, like you said, you got to go overseas to Pakistan, go to DC, New York. It doesn't matter. You better get you a financial mentor that's either accessible to you or you can just glean and learn from and really, take your finances to the next level. So what's the best book you've ever read?
Honestly, I don't have one.
It's fine. I don't even know. But if you were to ask me, I'm like, there's been so many good ones. It just depends on the topic, it just depends on where we're going. What's the most delicious food you've ever tasted?
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops?
Yes.
Do you make them or is there a particular place?
Mesquite Chop House.
Really?
They have some of the best lamb chops that I've ever tasted. And this new lounge that's in Memphis, Tennessee called Salt.
Yes.
Those
Girl.
lamb chops. Oh my God.
Do it again. Do the breath again. That's my girl's the executive chef there. So shout out to Chef Latisse. She is amazing. That's my girl. So she is cooking it up there. I'm gonna have to have her on the show because I gotta let her know you like her lamb chops. So who is your role model?
I would say my mom is my role model. I know this sounds a little cliche, but my mom is the perfect example of someone who I would say bust her butt off day and night from the time we were born up until now. Like she's a go-getter. She's a very, very, very strong woman. I've seen her at times where like, Mom, you're not gonna break down. Like, I know this would have tore this lady down, but yet she remains strong. She remains humble. She remains consistent. She has really, really good discipline. And I would say her hard work and determination and her go-getter is what helps push me to be the strong, independent woman that I am today, especially for my kids.
Your dream house, what it look like?
A brick house. It's so fun because you think that women always have their houses picked out on what their dream home be. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I want is a really, really, really nice kitchen area with a marble countertop, an exclusive walk-in closet in my bedroom, and a nice little jacuzzi tub and a nice shower and a really beautiful patio. I don't care about anything in the house. I just need the closet, the bathroom, and a really nice kitchen.
I think all women say that. I think all women are like, it doesn't even matter. The outside, we may change, but those 3 areas. So this is one of my favorite questions. You're pulling up to an event. You dress to impress. What are you wearing from head to toe?
I'm going to say a fedora hat. I love me some cute little fedora hats.
Yes.
And some little cute little dress. Cute little dress and some heels.
Okay. She didn't thought about this. Every woman, we already have an idea. Okay, your favorite person in the world?
My daughters. My 2 daughters, because they each have their own uniqueness, definitely have their own personalities, but their characteristics that they display amazes me every day. I learn new stuff about them every day. And they definitely keep me occupied and keep me open-minded to a lot of stuff. So I would definitely say my daughters.
Oh, well, they are their mother's daughter. So this is the part of the show I think that is my favorite and a fan favorite, which is the footprint segment. And you're going to look into that camera. You're going to leave your indelible mark on the earth. So this can be a phrase, a life mantra, a scripture. It could be you just kind of breaking down what you do a little bit more. But I say 1 minute, but nobody ever does 1 minute because we really want you to have an opportunity to just give your final remarks. And you can go ahead and get ready. Okay. So let's give it up for Alexis, you guys. She's going to tell us her footprint.
Okay, so this is what we call, guys, the 3 rules of money. My 3 key points that I am going to target, which is what a lot of the typical Americans have. So you have your investment options. You have your fixed, variable, your index. A lot of people have checkings and savings account, which falls under your fixed category. So checking and savings, a lot of people be like, oh, okay, I'm going to put money into my savings account and hopefully that it grows. You don't even get a 1% interest rate at your money growing. So you're just putting all this money in there and it's just sitting there, not accumulating any type of interest. It's just sitting there. So it's, to me, kind of like wasting your time saving money. And what we have is your variable. Under your variable, that kind of falls with your 401ks, your annuities, IRAs. Most jobs offer you 401ks. Some of them match what you're putting in. But let's just say if the market crashes, your money you're going to lose that money. Is just going to be gone. Like you're not going to get it back. But then, of course, if the market increases, then your money increases. But who wants their money being played with, going up and down, or just losing it all? No one. So what we have is called your index. It's called your index. So that like a permanent, I call it a permanent life savings account. And what that does is you're putting money into an account. But it's starting at a 6% interest rate. Who wouldn't love to have their money getting put into an account at growing at a 6% interest rate? I would highly recommend people to do what we call a cash value life insurance. Like I said, whereas dealing with life insurance, you're still having your coverage, you still have your death benefit, but most importantly, you have your cash value. So you're protecting your family, you're protecting your loved ones if anything happens, and you're also growing cash value. So if anything was to happen while you're living, you can utilize those funds while you're alive. Just say if you had a critical illness, a terminal illness, or a chronic illness, you can use that money instead of having to go and pull out a loan and getting denied, or just setting your family up for failure. And if you're interested, you can definitely contact me on social media at Alexis Collins on Facebook, and on Instagram is Brown_I_Virgo. If you're looking to get more financial, if you're needing more financial advice or needing just some help or understanding on what the finance industry can offer to you. And the only thing that I want to leave and say today is we are doing what's necessary to make our last names legendary.
Well, listen, y'all didn't know we had a financial preacher rapper. I mean, you hit us with the pouch and go out. Wow. I can't thank you enough for coming. And I really hope that through her coming, you all realize that we want to have guests on this show that are going to teach you how to manage your money. So I appreciate everyone from coming in and just tuning in with us. Thank you for joining in, chilling with me and my special guest, Alexis Smith. I pray that something that we discussed sparked a big fire in you to do it scared. You don't have to have all the answers, just a solid yes to start your journey with God. Keep going and keep growing. There are more people for you that are against you, and we so happen to be among the women that are rooting for your success. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.